Well, we got a new challenge today. Today's challenge is to fix this washing machine. I had it give to me, and it had this horrible squeaking noise every time it would go into wash cycle. It would go squeak, squeak, squeak. I mean, just ear screeching sound. I found the problem. I put a little penetrating oil on there, took care of the squeak, but I know it's not really solved the problem. So I'm gonna try to come up with a better solution. The problem, of course, when it first started squeaking, I thought it was the belt because it's belt driven. It wasn't the belt. It was definitely up here. It's in the top bearing. So let me show you what this looks like to get into it. Take this off here. We need a, I think it's 1/2 inch. Hang on. I gotta get 2 hands on this. Looks like it's not gonna work. Okay, just loosen up this bolt. Put it there. Lift up the agitator, and here is a problem down here. That bearing is loose. That bearing is not available. The only thing they have available is a whole transmission for like $400 crazy dollars. We're not going to do that, but I do have a plan. I got to get this adapter off first. Let me get it off, and I'll show you what I'm going to attempt to do to solve the squeaking issue. So in order to get this spline adapter off, I had to get out some heavy artillery. Got this from Harbor Freight. Little gear puller set, about $30-something. Very handy tool to have. I'm getting different projects like this. Got my little impact wrench. Let's see if this will come off. Oh, gee, that was easy. Can't beat that. I beat and banged on it. Tried to use a wrench to pull on it. Didn't do no good, but that worked out really sweet. Alright, so let me get this off of here. Okay, adapter's off. Now my goal is to get me a pretty good amount of grease. I like that red and tacky Lucas grease, really good stuff, down into this bearing, but I need to get quite a bit in there, down into this shaft, this housing. So now I got to come up with a plan on that. So let me get my thinking cap on and come up with something. All right, I've been thinking, got a plan. All right, so my idea, remember, we got to get grease shoved down into this little bearing, but quite a bit of grease under pressure. But it's not so easy to do unless we can make something to make like a sealed area. So here's my thought process. Just looking around my junk pile, I found this. So well, this will fit over here, but it's a little loose. That won't work so good. It's not going to seal very well. So my goal is, I'm going to just take me some black electrical tape and just run it around here a few times to increase its diameter. Once I get it to the right size, where this is a snug fit, I'll put a hose clamp on it. Then I'm going to cut it to the right size so I'm not wasting a bunch of grease. Then I'm going to take this little device I found. Actually, this came off the bottom of a compressor on an air conditioner compressor I changed out. It's why you save little rubber pieces like that. You can always use it for something. So I'm going to shove that down in here, make a tight fit. And then I'll put my grease gun in this hole and pump it full of grease. Because everything's going to be sealed little canister here, it's going to force it down into that shaft. So that is my goal. So let's start putting this together. It's coming together. It's coming together. They said it couldn't be done. I said, there's my tape. I've increased the diameter. Got this little part cut down a better size. Nice snug fit. Slide that on there. That and still working. It's coming together. It's coming together. They said it couldn't be done. All right, you see my tape? I've increased the diameter, so this now is a nice snug fit. You see I shortened it quite a bit so I don't waste as much grease. Nice snug fit. Wiggle it on there. I've also got me a hose clamp, so I'll put that on there and I'll tighten it in place so no grease will escape from the bottom. And then we got this little part here from the compressor. I'm going to push that in there good and tight. I got my grease gun handy. And I'm going to put the grease gun right in there. And bada bing, bada boom, Bob's your uncle. And we'll be pumping grease. And we're going to get rid of that squeak and that noisy bird in the background if you hear him. Okay, so here's my creation. See my grease gun? I'm just pumping away. And I really don't know how many strokes to put in here. I'm just going to, I don't know, 20 or 30 pumps. Maybe I'll feel for some resistance or feel this rubber piece start to push out. But I'm just going to do this a little while and get it filled up until we make sure we get that squeak is no more. Okay, so I pumped it plumb full till I got some resistance, and make sure we shoved enough grease down into that bearing. And so I'll just disassemble this and clean up my mess. Okay, so now for our next trick, we got to make sure the grease stays in there. So I've got me 2 O-rings, one that will go around the outer lip of this, and one that'll fit right on the inner. And so when I put that back together, it will compress and seal down against the bottom. So we'll keep the grease in its place where it needs to be. Alright, test number 1, we're letting it fill up with water. See what happens. Try to get water lines running from outside, inside, and going out the door and all this fun stuff. It's a little crowded in here, but we make it work. Look at that, folks. It's a wiggling. It's doing its thing. It's not squeaking. Notice the difference in sound. See how quiet it is now? It got quiet because I squirted some Dawn in there. Something I had, I know it's not, maybe it's not right for a washing machine, but that's something I had down here in the garage. But it's amazing what the suds really quietened it down versus all that just plain water was swishing around. I'll let this run for a while, let it rinse out, fill it back up, make sure everything's looking good. Alright, start the spin cycle now. Spin out the soap suds. We'll go through a rinse, and then another spin, I guess. See if everything remains quiet. Okay, time for an update. It's been a couple days. Actually, I've run this thing through every cycle it has all the way around because I want to make sure it's fixed. Another thing, I wanted to confirm that there's no grease slinging out. So like any good mechanic, you want to check your work. So I've took this loose and pull it off just to make sure there's no grease slinging out around my O-ring. So there is no grease. Everything's nice and dry. No grease inside here. So we can finish reassembling this. And I think it's going to be ready to get, and this thing will be ready to go. Okay, just to show you everything about this washer works perfect. It's got the water select works, hot, cold, medium. It does its thing. It washes, it spins, it shoots the water out. Really nice washing machine. Excellent shape. We'll start washing in just a second. See the washing work? Doing its thing. Swishy. Okay, you see I'm going to show you it pumps the water out of it like it's supposed to. Good pump. Start spinning here in a second. There she goes. It washes, it spins, it does everything you need. So we saved another washing machine from the landfill. It's good shape, no more squeaks. So if yours is squeaking and you don't want to buy a transmission for it, make you a little doodad like I made here. And after you run it for a couple years, it starts squeaking again. Just take that nut loose in there and give it a couple more shots of grease and just keep running it. I like this old style because it's got the big heavy cast iron transmission in the bottom. You don't see that anymore. These new styles, everything's plastic. But hope you learned something. I did. Nice machine. Thanks for watching. Have a blessed day. See you. Bye.